What's going on, guys? It's your big boy Aaron J to the scene. I'm back in the house with another brand new video. Welcome to another episode of Axios Media. And today we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to react to a topic that a lot of people don't really like to talk about. We're going to react to the feminist movement. Let's just react to an interview that was given by one of my favorite, Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is, of course, a very controversial man as always, but there are some people he brings on to his show, Talk TV, that really makes a lot of difference. Because if you see this, I think you also try to avoid these kind of people. But let's not avoid and just jump to the gun. Let's just have a look and see what Piers Morgan has to say. And he has brought up a very important lady that I like. Her name is Pearl Davis. Pearl Davis is a feminist, anti-feminist protester. So she wants to reveal the evilness of feminists and how feminism has really polluted a lot of women's minds and destroyed a lot of relationships. So let's just react to this video and see where we go from here, okay?
Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine
The female Andrew Tate. That's a pretty good title.
Or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
Wow.
Okay, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Saxene, who was nodding furiously.
I'm sorry. Let's just look at that. Let's just look at that part again. Okay, Pearl looks quite lovely. She looks quite good. I mean, look at her. She's poised. She smiles at Piers Morgan. She smiles at the camera, and she's quite okay. But this person right here, look at her face. She looks like she's about to start a fight right now, and it's just. And this is you already know when somebody looks exactly like this. You know there's something wrong here, that somebody really stirred the pot a lot. So let's just have a look and see what happens after this, okay?
Andrew Tate.
Of everything he says?
It depends what we're talking about, but overall I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look.
This is where I already had to stop with Pearl right here. You believe that a man like him, who basically misogynist woman, and he basically just treats women like trash, and he does a lot of alcoholism. He flexes his money. He doesn't do much for the community, but just says that women are evil and men has to be better in this world. Well, there is one thing that I do agree with him, is that men ought to be better. But he's basically a man who is on a journey to say that men wake up, which I agree. Yes, we have to wake up, but treating women and relationship advice, I think you don't need to go to Andrew Tate. I think you need to go through a proper marriage counselor and through a proper couple who have been through so long together that their relationship is still quite together and intact, okay?
About women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true.
She looks like she's really going to start a fight right now.
They've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say. But, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. Before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
Well, what's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society
Wow, she's good.
run.
So I
Her
just think if we
statistics are
want an
very
equal
good.
say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is a
Exactly. This is exactly what I agree with Pearl. Now, in the feminist movement, a lot of women, young women especially, they like to say that, men get paid more than women, or women don't have equal opportunity to go and play in the sports or to do anything like work in high-paying jobs. What are you talking about? It's because men like us, we are career-driven. We really want to drive ourselves to do challenges like great challenges, And Pearl has given a pretty good way of seeing it. You know why a lot of feminist movement they talk so much? They're being pushed to the side, they're being avoided. Well, it's because you're not putting yourself out there with the men. You're not putting yourself into a competition where you can be better than men, which is true. Some things women can do and some things men can do. But if you complain too much, it means is that you didn't try your best enough. And even if you did try your best, why do you stop there? Why not continue on and excel and do better, huh? Why don't you think like that, huh, feminist movement, huh? Why can't you just do better instead of complaining and whining and nagging all the time, huh?
What would having the right to vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family.
That's
unit.
true.
You had one
Back then,
vote
only
for the
one family had to vote for one person had to vote for the entire family.
2 votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about.
No, do you know what it's sort of
I
like?
I
No,
know.
it's just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
But they just kind of don't really add up.
You see how a feminist activist always fights back? He always says that I don't agree with you on your statistics. Well, basically, the feminist people don't really have statistics to prove, other than people like Pearl who have been studying them, who have gone through it, who have read statistics before. She knows what she's talking about. But people like her name is Ava Santina, doesn't really understand how statistics work and how history has worked. Pearl has said it was pretty correct. Only one person, basically one man or one family, had to vote for the entire household. So it was practically true until women had the right to vote and they were able to cast their ballots.
You back to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
Allegedly?
The time, well, at
What
the
do you
time
mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they
So
were. That's
actually,
incorrect. The first
okay, what year are we talking about?
female property owner was in the 1600s.
That's actually true. I looked that up earlier.
And
I'm so sorry, but that would be inherited property.
The first female millionaire.
That's
was
true.
late
I actually saw a documentary or maybe a television show or a Netflix show on this. It's true. It's actually true. She was the first millionaire. Yeah, she was basically the richest woman during that time. So I don't know what the other activist is saying, but this is not correct. Women were not. Of course, there was a time in the 1800s where women were supposed to stay at home and become wives and just cook, clean, and do all the household things. But now we live in a modern society, and in the 1900s, women were able to go to school and further their education. So they were mistreated back then, but today they are being respected a lot. So I don't know what this activist is getting out of it, but her information is not correct.
So no, it wasn't. It was self-made. Yes, it was.
Self-made.
Yes, it
and
was.
She never inherited land.
Yes, she did not
and what
inherit
law permitted
it.
that?
What
law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential.
You see how she brushed off that conversation and just moved on?
What I don't understand is, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
Your big push is that you care about men, and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
Well, I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't
Care
made the
about women
point
too,
yet. Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote, how is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again, men do all of that.
Feminists are
well,
saying.
then okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring, because I don't I don't think men or women are equal until we do
Exactly.
equal work. So no, listen.
This is exactly what people don't understand. I mean, there has been saying that men and women are basically equal. Well, you have to look at it from statistics and what Pearl is trying to say. Men, it's true what she said. Men mostly go into the army. Men mostly do all the dirty jobs. Men mostly do all the heavy lifting. Men mostly do all the breadwinning jobs. So you have to understand that men have for thousands of years have always been the leading way, the leader of the sheep, the leader of the flock. And we have always tried to, do things that are difficult so that we can earn for our family. And the feminist movement, they're being so whiny and saying things like, why can't women get high paying, why can't women get the same pay as men? Why can't women have the same level as men or the same job description as men? The problem is that there are different jobs that pay for different amount, and they pay for depending on what job you do. You can't just go around saying that you want more money for something that's so simple. That's not how the world works here, okay? That's just basically what your job is supposed to do, and if you do it well enough, they might pay you more. But if you keep saying that you're whining about this job and that job and why we need to pay more regardless of the job, then I'm sorry to say that that's not equal right. If you want to be equal, fight for then go for the equality that men do.
Go apply to be on the oil rigs.
Go do all these jobs that you yourself can get paid just like men, instead of just sitting there and whining about it.
We should have equal rights, but until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, but I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely
Wow,
not.
actually, that was pretty intense.
Wow.
You said you were a volleyball player.
But that was
so
a big
you've got
compliment,
more
though.
strength than I do. I don't think
But
that
I don't have more strength. I don't have more strength than the average man.
I'm not going to take your right away to do it.
I don't have more strength than the average man. But again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be equal.
But you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because
yes, finally somebody who understands what this is supposed to be. Now, marriage is very important. It is given by God, okay? God himself gave us the sacramenting of marriage. And it's so sacred to a point that, people are divorcing for silly reasons. Then why did you marry in the first place? I mean, the point about a marriage is that both of you are not supposed to, just sit there and complain. But both of you are supposed to go through life together, because that's what marriage is all about. For sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's the point of marriage. Marriage is about both people coming together, male and female, and working things out together. That's the problem with the feminist movement. They're trying to destroy the marriage that God has created between men and women.
For worse,
for in sickness and in health, until death do us part.
Death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage.
Exactly,
For the people
they
that
have ruined
actually
it.
believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate, and the average marriage
Why is that all
is
down
8
to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why feminists?
You asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish this first? So I'm saying, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
Wait, what?
What did he say?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't.
Look at Piers Morgan. He's like gobsmacked. He doesn't even know what to do.
I was. But, we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's fair that you get to be here and you get to be paid for your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
What the?
No, I wouldn't. Don't go that far.
You don't want to be a feminist?
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring. There is an engineering
I would actually love to see Ava Satin on an oil rig.
No, seriously. There is a building being built next to my building. Go do it, feminists. Go do it.
Oh my goodness! It just goes to show the pro is really on fire for
you want to
this.
get married to. Are you saying you will be with that man whatever happens the rest of your life?
Yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live by.
How do you know you can keep them?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children.
Hey, exactly what I said.
In a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little bit listening to Andrew Tate where Some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff.
Yeah, I don't agree with the vote stuff either, because I think we live in a society where women are able to do whatever they want. I mean, if they want to cast their votes, if they don't want to cast their votes, if you have a decision, this is not the 1900s or the 1800s anymore. We're not living in the 19th century, okay? We're living in a modern day society where women are becoming prime ministers, they're becoming CEOs, they're becoming, you know, a lot more competitive, and it's pretty impressive, you know, seeing that how the journey has gone through. But the point is that you know, voting is something that's really serious, okay? I think it's okay to vote. It's nothing so big of a deal. I mean, everybody has a right to vote. And I mean, what age now, Kenji? What age do now Malaysia people vote for young people? 18 years old. See, 18 years old. And 18 years old is a big thing, because back then you couldn't vote. 18 years old couldn't vote, but now they can. So you see, everybody's entitled to it, you know. So I think it's okay. The voting part is okay. It's like we can forget about that. But regarding about marriage and the other things, that one we have to focus on, because it's pretty big, it's pretty serious.
When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children in divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to say, even before the 1920s,
Do you know what I mean?
women could speak openly. This idea that, like, women couldn't talk the last 500 years, there have been women throughout history...
I know, but the American state education system has failed before, and it's failing now.
There have been women throughout
I like how she
history
tried to
that
talk
have
over her, but she
written,
failed.
Denied!
very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea like women could never do it.
Do you know what I don't understand though is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly, like, you know, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat? Yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity as some kind of body positive thing, and it is complete nonsense. So actually, on that point again, there's a bit of truth in that.
And this is the problem. This is the problem.
How have we come to celebrate morbid obesity as body positive?
Well,
it's nonsense.
We're not talking about morbid obese. I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
wasn't.
I mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively...
And she insulted me first. They always do.
I'm going to have to objectively end the debate.
Yeah, it's really interesting though. I like that a lot.
We should get you two back together as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much, Pearl.
Now, if you don't know what Pearl Davis actually said, it's basically like this. She basically just took something that was pretty accurate on how men are being more of the breadwinner, more of the, you know, the more competitive people to fight with than women who sit at home and do nothing. You see, the feminist movement has tried their darn best to pollute the minds of younger girls. Like example, they say that, oh, you can do whatever you want to your body, you can sleep with how many people you like, you can even, get an abortion if you have to, and you can just do it so many times that you don't have any consequences. But to wrap it up here, guys, I just want to say, as Christians, don't listen to people who try to, say that it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, and not receive any consequences. Like abortion, you're taking another person's life. You're taking an innocent child's life. Regardless of what age and stage it goes through, you're taking the life of something that can be beneficial for the community and for the generation. And the worst part about this is that they're using this movement to further other women to not get married. But there are other people who want to get married. And if you get brainwashed into this kind of nonsense, obviously it's going to impact the generation a lot. And a lot of young girls today, they rather just be alone and be successful and not get married and not have children and not prosper and just, live their life however they like it and sleep whoever they want, than to have a family and keep the generation going. The Bible says that we have to be fruitful. We have to be fruitful. We have to go and multiply. And that's what we were supposed to do. And we're supposed to do that today. How else are you going to get the population of the earth moving? We have to have people to do all these things. So what I'm going to draw the conclusion here, guys, is this, okay? I want you to be very careful with the feminist movement, especially for the ladies, okay? the ladies who are watching this, please stop following all this movement. I'm not trying to say that, you know, I do appreciate women, okay? I appreciate women. They're very strong and independent, and my mother also is a very strong and independent woman. But to say things like women can do better than men, apply yourself, and maybe you'll do better. Or maybe if you stop whining and stop complaining and just put yourself out there with the men and just do better than the men, then you'll have the respect of everybody, including the men. But if you're just going to sit there and whine about it and say, oh, we deserve more pay, or we deserve to have the same level as men, or we deserve to fight in the same sports as men, but if you're going to complain and do nothing about it, then what's the point of the movement anyway? If the movement just is a bunch of ladies just whining and crying about how life is not perfect, well, guess what? The world isn't perfect. Get over it, okay? So without further ado, guys, this is a bit of a rant, but it's okay. I mean, it is how it is, you know. It's getting quite annoying, and a lot of people from the West are influencing the people in the East, and it's getting very serious. So I want to encourage you ladies and guys out there to please leave a like, share, favorite, subscribe, comment on the video too. It helps me to improve myself and helps the ministry to improve itself. And do subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you all in the next video of Axios Media. Bye-bye.